Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Sound on with Hollywood Hagan. This is a time where I sit down and link up with real people doing real things. Today I got Moonlair with me today. I hope I pronounced that right. I hope I got that right. Definitely didn't. It's okay.
It's all good.
But yeah, man, he's an aspiring comedian, man, and it's crazy because like growing up, I've always been super into comedy. I mean, all the way from like the Def Jams with Chris Tucker, and even with the Kings of Comedy with the DL Hughley's, the Cedric the Entertainers, like that's always been part of my life. So like, it's cool to like get the opportunity to sit down with somebody like you, and kind of tell your story. Obviously, I don't know if you're in the beginning stages, mid stages, whatever the case is. I want to know where you're at, what you're doing, what inspires you, what keeps you going. So I guess to kind of start off, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into this idea or this space of comedians and comedy, and then we'll take it from there.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think it was like when I was little, I was probably like 11 or something, and then my mom bought me a camera, and I was like trying to make stupid like MTV crib videos, and like they were all horrible. Like I look back and I like throw up looking at them, but
MTV crib.
I think it's kind of like sparked interest in like filmmaking and stuff like that and comedy. And then I kind of took some time off because I became a nerd. I started playing Call of Duty too much when I wasn't playing basketball.
We all been there, bro. We all been there.
Yeah, so that's good funny. 6 years of life, and I'm playing with these random ass kids in Wisconsin or some shit.
I bet you it's crazy on the mic, huh? You probably got suspended from Xbox Live countless times, huh?
Yeah, my mom's I don't like what I hear coming out of your room, and I was like, fuck off.
Yo, that's hilarious. So you were inspired by, okay, so you did what were the MTV cribs? Was it of your own crib? Were you doing like videos of like friends and family, or like did you do multiple videos with all this?
So I started doing like just like random like silly videos like that, or just like trying to do like wilderness videos, just like what every kid was probably doing at the time. And then I would go to like basketball camp. I used to go to Michael Jordan's basketball camp in out in California, so I went out there all the time. And I think just being around like there were a lot of celebrities' children out there, and a lot of like Kyle Massey was there. Like I became friends with him and went to his birthday party when I was like in high school, and just like from like Corey in the House and That's So Raven. And so just being around them and just seeing, I guess, more of the creative in the comedy up close, because you watch all Disney Channel and stuff as a kid, and then you're finally around these people and you're like, wow, like that's crazy. Like I can be
you get inspired, right?
Yeah. And so that kind of inspired me, I think. Then as I grew older, I started making some more comedic videos, writing videos, and like they didn't pop, so I stopped working on them. I made probably like 3 when I was like out of college, because I was trying to play professional basketball in Europe, but my coach was an asshole, and he made me quit playing. I was like, I don't love basketball anymore.
He made you quit playing?
Yeah, he was ass. Like he was like.
But did he tell you to quit playing, or did he like just kind of like gave you like you just didn't want to, you just want to play for him? Like he gave you that bad spirit.
Yeah, he just lectured us for hours and was like throwing trash cans and shit, and like we were running plays from and shit. Like we were running plays. We ran a Princeton offense where there's like no crossovers, no pull up jumps.
No, it was catch, pump fake, pass, catch, pump fake. Oh God! And so he was too by the book.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. So where'd you get the opportunity to play overseas?
So I didn't. I mean, I was working on a few camps. Like a few of my teammates they're playing in Portugal and other places right now.
Okay.
But I don't know. I was kind of tired, and I was like, I could go to Europe and play for 6 years. I can be 28 and maybe have 40, 50K saved up, but I'm still gonna have to start when I get here if I don't make the NBA.
You're still making an average living, but you're in a country that you probably don't care to be at, missing out on friends, missing out on family. That's crazy. What position did you play?
I played like shooting guard to like power forward, like all in that area, just because I was like one of the taller people on the team, so they had me playing everything.
So you could shoot.
Yeah, in high school I was a lights out shooter, but like if I shot in college, if I took a shot, I'm like on the bench. I'm like, all right, next
So
coaching
you
stuff.
wasn't so you wasn't a stretch four then.
Not anymore. Shit.
Four. Hey, those days is gone, huh? It's all
Yeah,
good, man.
over here eating
It's
all
all
my
good.
quarantine food, getting fat. It's gonna be tough to
Bro,
bring it up.
man. Yeah, I can't. You can't even shop.
No, I can't. I'm over
Every
here eating
every
toilet paper.
everything is off the shelf. That's cool, man. So you started as a kid, right? So you were doing like the little small time videos. You got inspired. You knew you wanted to do that, but you just like you put it on hold, focused
Yeah.
on basketball. So then that didn't work out, right? So then is that what led to kind of pushing the digital, the comedy and all that?
Yeah, and I mean, I think when I started off younger, I was putting all those on MySpace, which was, the shit back then. And then I was trying to do like some special effects stuff, so it was always just like entertainment in general. But I think after I started working around like 22, I got a new camera and I just started making some skits, and they weren't popping off, and I was like, damn. So I took like another year off, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna chase money, and then
Yep.
you start chasing money, you're trying to take care of family, and you're like, damn, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I want. Like, it's not why I'm alive. I don't want to live to work.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
so,
yeah, that's how it usually is, man. People get inspired the most when they think about the 9 to 5, and it's
mm,
just like it's just not built for some people, man. It's just
yeah,
you know what I mean. And it sounds like because it's crazy because like the passion really stems from like the beginning. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like being at that place and having that idea at such a young age, I feel like it's like it kind of goes back in full circle, right?
right.
So is that kind of how you felt when you got to that point?
Yeah, I mean, I caught myself just like working a job for a year, and I'm like, this is horrible. I can't stay in a place longer than a year. This is boring. And I'm looking around at people, and they're like mid 50s. I'm 23 at the time, 22, and I'm looking at people like struggling to survive in their 50s with no like talents or skill sets or following any passion. I'm like, I don't want to be that person, pretty much.
The
And
corporate world.
yeah, it's tough, and I think that's why people that aren't creative or don't do anything or aren't building entrepreneurial like businesses or anything like that, they idolize everybody else that is doing shit or following their dreams because they're afraid to. And so I think
Yep.
that's what pushed me into doing that. So I was just more like, I'm gonna, pretty much what I see is like you just got to be consistent. So I'm like, I'm gonna put out a lot of content. I'm gonna start making more comedy videos. I'm gonna write more. I'm gonna write a script for a screenplay that I'm gonna try to put out there. I'm gonna try to write a TV show that I'm gonna try to push. Um, and then as well, doing stand-up routines. So, and I kind of got forced into that because I wasn't really about doing stand-up, but
Yeah.
this socialite in Austin, he was just pulling me aside. He's like, you can keep doing what you're doing and live a mediocre life, or you can get up there and do this. And I was like, fuck.
You got to take that chance, bro.
And then he like, yeah,
That's dope though. Like, I mean, you sounds like one, you got a lot going on as far as like touching different avenues, right? Like the co-writing, the skits. So it's like when it comes to stand up, I feel like that's like the last thing that you got to really dive into just to be versatile, right?
right,
Because
right,
that's how you stand out in a sense. Because you could get lucky, right? You could just hop on the stage and just kill it, right? And just become an overnight success. But I feel like if you got multiple variations of different avenues, right? It's just like, yo, like I can do it all. You want me to
yeah,
write a skit? Cool. You want me to, put together a show for you? Cool. You want me to hop on stage? All right, we could do that too. You know what I mean? That's dope that you got to set up like that. How's the success been for you as far as like the co-writing and stuff like that? I know you co-write for some folks, and I'm sure you do well at it because obviously you're doing it. Um, can you kind of talk about that a little bit? Maybe some success stories on that, or how's that going? Because that's huge.
yeah. I think pretty much I mean, I started off working with my friend Ali, and we started doing skits together. I guess that's when we started being pretty consistent with what we were working on.
Mhm.
So we started off, I guess, like the first skit we did together was about having sex with a hot pocket because you're lonely. But like, and like,
Wait, what?
it's easy to,
Yo,
um,
what
first,
the?
but
That is
at the time,
hilarious, man.
he was an engineer at the time, and I just like forced him. I was like, hey, like you seem passionate about this. Maybe you should do film full time. And he ended up quitting his job as an engineer, and now he runs what's it, Austin Under the Stars Film Festival. So he created that,
Whoa.
and then he has LA Under the Stars Film Festival. So it's a smaller film fest, but he's getting submissions from all over. He's making
Oh.
like paid films already. He's doing shorts and stuff like that. And so I haven't really worked on any of his shorts, but he's kind of trying to force me into doing a more, I guess, indie film. And so I've been working at writing that, and it's a lot of connections in Austin. I think would fund part of it. So I think that would be something
That's
interesting.
dope.
To do, yeah.
So are you pretty well known in Austin right now as far as what you do and things like you're pretty well connected, right?
Yeah, I mean, more than like, I guess just skit wise and just from networking here, just pretty much know the entire city and probably just from drinking too much, and just being out.
Like, who is this guy?
It
Who
comes
is this guy?
Yeah.
I need you to write for me. I mean, that's crazy. That's usually how it goes, man. Because I know a lot of people who kind of are in the same, tier as you as far as like, the comedians, the actors, and anything from like that caliber of work.
Yeah.
It usually stems from like normal conversations, like in a bar or like at the gym, right? And you're just chatting it up. What you do? Oh, okay, you do that. Man, you would work great for this. Like I literally have one of my boys. He's an aspiring actor in California right now, and like he's getting some of his biggest avenues from just he's actually a bartender.
Yeah.
So he talks to a lot of people, right? But I mean, just in that setting alone, it's just like, yo, people are like the most like kind of free and comfortable. You know what I mean? You're a little loose off the goose or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty dope, man. So obviously, you got your thing going in Austin. Do you plan on like, relocating? Like, I mean, do you see opportunities in other places that are kind of like pulling you towards that direction? Maybe LA?
Yeah, I'm looking at either LA or San Diego. I think the issue with Austin is there's it has like this kind of this fake culture, like cultural belief where that everybody here is like creative and pursuing things and stuff like that, or like the live music capital of the world. But I think it's all a facade, and pretty much like I have to beg people to like work on projects with me here. And I just went to San Diego a month ago, and I ran into I was there for a day and a half. I had 25 people that were like, I'll work with your stuff. Like I'll do anything, like whatever you want. Let's put videos out, like some producers, because I do like comedy music too. So I had like some producers like, hey, let's work. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. But like here,
hey, bro.
It's like, oh, you want a pickle shot, and let's take some tequila.
They're moving too slow, bro.
Check the paycheck. How about you? And I'm like, I'm not trying to be that anymore. So
I'm on something different, bro. Yeah, man. So I think it's like important to kind of like, I mean, obviously you're comfortable in the state, you live there, the city, whatever. I feel like getting out, because you've already like, you know what I'm saying, you've established your content, you've established like what you want to do, what you're good at, what you can try out, whatever. So it's like if you're at that state, like take what you relocate. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, especially with this, man, like we live in a digital era, bro. Like it's just like it's just like it's so consuming it and then putting it out is just so quick. It's boom, 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 right? So I guess my next question is like, what do you do, and how do you like stay consistent and relevant and on point when it comes to like putting out your content? How do you put out your content? What are some of the ways that you go about doing that?
So I think with I guess from experience, when I was just putting out stuff here and there and like not making sure it was quality and stuff like that, is when I had like the least amount of interaction with people, the least amount of people sharing my content and stuff like that. And so I think I pushed myself. I have a big whiteboard the size of me, which is like 6'5" tall. And like, I mean, I don't know. I was listening. I don't like Russ's music, but I read his book, and he was talking about how it's like, it's like a coffee table book, but like He was talking about he put 11 albums out and didn't pop, and then he put out pretty much a single a week for an entire year, and that's when he popped. And it was just like about consistent, and I think that's the biggest thing because it's easy to lose hope. And I'm naturally like a pessimistic person, so I think I've been pushed off, or I guess put off by the fact or the consistency without a lot of people, digging what I'm doing. But you go back to normal life and you're like, this shit sucks. And you're like, okay, I got to stay motivated. And I think that's the biggest motivation.
Real with yourself.
Yeah, it's just overcoming the mundane, the parts of life that are just kind of shitty. You're like, I'm tired of this. I want to like push and people to recognize, the creative energy that I put forth. So that's
man.
Me, I think.
That's dope, man. That example is crazy too, because that's actually a true story. Because I don't listen to Russ a whole lot either. I mean, I think he's a dope artist. He's super successful, but like there was a period of time where this man was literally dropping single after single, and every single had like a weird cover art to it or like some crazy color to it with like a random image. Like that was the time where he was, and then he popped.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But it was good work though. It was quality work. So speaking about quality work, what's your process like, when putting together, these sort of things like skits and video content and stuff like that? What's your process? I mean, obviously I know you probably have a team, right? What's some of the most important things to you when it comes to putting together quality content?
I think it's so I pretty much do everything on myself because I worked for like film production company, so like I bought all the equipment. I have like stupid equipment. I do all the video editing, all the effects.
Okay.
So it's funny because it's like a full-time job on the side when you're trying to do that. If you're working another job and then you get off and you're like, I got to put in another 50 hours this week on editing and filming. So
not happening.
Yeah,
so you got to be bought in. You got to be bought into your product and your idea, man.
Yeah,
that's dope that you can actually take care of the umbrella of work. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people have the idea, but they don't have the team that can kind of execute the idea. So the fact that you have that background, I feel like you got the advantage.
True, yeah, and I think once things pick up more, it'll be easier to bring people on that are willing to just be part of the movement and just, work to grow instead of, money here and now and stuff like that.
Yes, bro.
People preaching. For me, I want to work with somebody that's popping, learn from them and just, be whatever blessing I could be, ultimately.
Yeah. So speaking on that, what are some of the things for you that's important as far as, putting together a team?
That's a good question. I think.
What are you looking for?
I think I look for people that are kind of hungry because I think, you live in a world where people aren't hungry or they talk a big game. Like I get 50 messages a day from people, not 50, but like throughout the week, I'll probably get, at least
now you get
15
people. It's okay. You could boost it up a little bit.
But I get these people like, dude, I got this, I got to do this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, write it. Let's do it. And then nobody does shit. They're like, oh, this next thing. Like that's more energy for me to like plan you being in something where like you're not going to necessarily be like a big role or anything. And so it's just like
check this out. I think what's big on putting together your team is talking about everything that you believe in. Consistency, right? Obviously, realness, hard work, good work ethic. Like I feel like even for me, right, putting together a team of people who are focused on and are consistent on the same things that I'm doing. Like you almost gotta have that same person replicate who you are and what you kind of stand for. I think that's like key, right? So like especially with consistency, somebody not showing up, or talk big game but no action, right? So like some of those sort of things I feel like are key to putting together a team. And like going back again on how you got the advantage is that you can do everything. So you kind of got the leverage on that, right?
Yeah, I don't need them. It'd be easier.
You could be kind of pick and choose on who you want to deal with, which is great. I think, and I feel like the sky's the limit for you when it comes to something like that. So you're co-writing, you're putting together the skits. What's the stand-up looking like?
I mean, the stand-up's fun. I'll do a lot of open mics. I've done a South by Southwest show. We were going to do another one this year, but it got canceled, unfortunately. So, I mean, every time I go out there, I get, a good little crowd, and we have a lot of fun. A lot of people get stressed out because most of my jokes are sexual, and I guess some people.
But hey, but everybody at South by Southwest is in the best feeling, best mode on the planet.
It's that stinky coochie sex that's going on. Walking around all day in the heat.
Woo! That desert sand, boy.
No,
that's crazy. So what's that like, bro? Like, I mean, South by Southwest. When somebody says South by Southwest, they think of like music, right? They think of like rappers, hip hop artists, singers, right? Like that's what they think of.
Right.
So what exactly do you do as far as being a part of that show?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's South by has quite an umbrella of events. I mean, it has the film portion of it, has the music, and it has some other stuff I can't remember. But the stuff, I mean, it's just like smaller groups of promoters that just bring local talent together. Yeah, so I mean, it was a lot of fun. Pretty large crowd. It was funny because I broke my foot because I was doing that Fortnite dance. I was like, shoot, and I was out
doing that.
And so I'm wearing Chelsea boots, and I'm wearing these Chelsea boots, and I roll my foot while I'm jumping on one foot, and it sprained my ankle, but I feel my bone break in my foot.
Whoa.
Well, like I joke around too much, so I go to the two girls I'm with, and I'm like, hey, I broke my foot. They're like, ha, shut up, and I'm like, nah, bitch, I broke my foot. And so,
how'd you do it? I was shooting.
I was mad. I'm gonna get some dick, and I was like, bitch. And they run. I'm mad. I'm hopping outside, and then I'm like, oh, where my friends at? Fuck y'all. I was like, forget all y'all. And then I'm like, the bouncer is like, oh, I was in the military. Let me look at your foot. This dude's been in my foot all different ways. I know the bone's just cracking. Man.
Bro, were you in pain?
I was lit, so I'm not in that much pain. The next morning.
So like, how were you walking around?
I shouldn't have been, but I was pretty blackout at the time. But yeah, when I went to do the South by show, it was like the third day after surgery, I think. And so I'm off all these like opioids and stuff, and I'm just like, hey, how do you feel about white women? And it's like,
that's hilarious.
Couldn't drink anything to take the edge off before, so that was a little nerve-wracking, but it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of friends out.
That's a story right there. So South by Southwest, so you got the main stage, right, where they do this, the headliners, sub-headliners, but then they have a lot of stuff that's kind of off-site. Is that what you're kind of, they set up like kind of off-site stuff for the comedic vibes?
Yeah, they'll have like other bars that they have open up, and you'll just pretty much they'll pack those bars for it. So no stage stand up or anything like that. But
would you say South by Southwest is like the biggest, I guess, project event that you've done?
Yeah,
up to date.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get involved in that?
My friend Trey the barber, he's a celebrity barber, so he like cuts all the celebrities, and so he's popping online, like 100,000 Instagram followers, and like he hit me, like I guess he sent me over to one of his boys that's like a promoter in the area. He's actually trying to get me on a rap show here last weekend for South by. So I had that show lined up, but that got canceled with everything. So that's but yeah, he hooked it up, and that dude's pretty much just setting up all these events for whether it's music or stand up, and those are kind of his interests. But he gets pretty good shows together, and they're a lot of fun to partake in.
Yeah, most definitely. So I mean, even diving into that a little more, I guess my next question would be is how important is networking to you?
I think networking is key. Like that's why I'm pushing more to get into California. Like I said, just within one day there, I had 15 to 20 people that were just like down for the cause, and they just kind they just want somebody to push them because not everybody has motivation. So I
Yeah.
think being that person that holds people accountable and just finding the people that have that spark and want to work
Hmm.
is good, but just, yeah, I mean, I guess being an alcoholic in Austin, I learned how to network pretty well. And I think that's going to help out.
That's the key to
Sure.
success, baby.
Yeah. Kill a bottle of vodka and just hit the streets. And
You got to do tequila, bro. You got to do tequila.
yeah, I'm not
You don't
trying
do.
to dance. No, I'm just kidding. I'll,
Hey,
I'll
bro. Hey, that'll expand a whole nother avenue of opportunity. I'll tell you that.
I know. Shoot. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I normally drink tequila anyways. Yeah, but
You seem like a tequila drinker.
that's all I can take shots of. I'll throw up on anything else. Like,
I mean,
no.
bro. It's pure agave, bro. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I know what that is, and I just hate when people like they're like, "Oh, you want shots?" and they're trying to impress me, and then they give me like some well whiskey or some well vodka. And I'm like, bruh, like, why would you do that?
Save that. Just
Save
give it. Hey, just pour it back into the bottle. I'm good. Like,
that,
that's funny.
put that money in your savings account. Shit,
Like, I'm good on that. I
I'm good.
appreciate you. Thank you, but no thank you.
I pregame. I'm good.
That's hilarious. Oh, I pre-gamed. Oh, bro, people sleep on that. That's the key.
For
That's the
real.
key. Yo,
I'm nervous.
so I mean, so we talk about like hard work, right? Work ethic. All these key factors to like what I'm saying being successful in the industry that you're in. So I'm curious to maybe like what are some of your inspirations? Who do you look up to that kind of share the same kind of mindset as you,
Mhm.
right? That is doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, of course. No, I feel
It
like
it, it, could, it could be A list, B list, it could be C list. You know,
mhm.
it don't got to be you know top of the bunch, but I'd like to hear a few.
Yeah, no, I feel like Childish Gambino and so
Mhm.
Donald Glover and
Mhm.
Jordan Peele are two great examples.
Yup.
Anybody, I guess, who is kind of following a similar path to me, where I have so many different interests, like
Mhm.
across the board, whether I'm working on music or doing stand up or doing writing for TV shows or writing scripts or what have you. Like they've
Mhm.
done everything, and they didn't necessarily become super successful until they were older.
Yeah.
It, and I guess I mean that's a great example because I feel like what stresses us out, I guess mainly millennials, is like we want everything now, and that's kind of what I've learned
Oh yeah.
myself. Um,
Right now too. Like,
yeah, and
so
it's
that's dope that you mentioned Jordan Peele, man, because his story is kind of crazy, right? In the sense of like he's almost like where you're at as far as like your idea on skits and shows, because like
yeah.
that's kind of where he kind of started, which is dope.
Hmm.
But then on top of that, once he broke into the industry and
Right,
became kind of A-list, he stayed true to his craft,
right, right,
right?
right.
So how important is it for you to obviously believe in your idea, execute in your idea, and stay true to your craft? Like how important is that to you, and how much do you think that will kind of reflect your success?
I think that is the biggest thing, I guess. And if you look at
Yeah.
Jordan, his ultimate goal was to be a writer and director, and he put up with so much crap going, working stereotypical roles on Mad TV,
Yeah.
uh, starting out there and grinding that out to like his mid 30s until he finally got his real break, which where he's writing, doing his own TV show with Michael Key, and so it just shows that persistence pays off, and nobody probably would have seen him for like the man he is now, the Oscar winner, when he was playing
Right.
stereotypical roles on Mad TV. But I think it's just seeing his persistence and seeing the larger goal. He probably wasn't thinking about his skit show when he was writing, his movies. And I think that was the end goal is, even for me, like I think directing and writing is going to be like my key thing in the future. But
Mm-hmm.
you gotta break in and you gotta, you gotta,
You got to start somewhere.
start somewhere, find the journey, see, whatever avenue you take, hopefully one pops off sooner or later, like it
Yeah.
should if you're persistent. But I think that's just kind of looking at him and just trying to use that as motivation is to not give up on dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like obviously like, you know, when he puts together his projects or whatever, he puts together his movies, they always stem from something, right? You know, if you think about like the Get Outs, and then like it stemmed over to what was the other one? Us,
Yeah.
right? And they have like an idea behind it. Like he comes up with projects, and they stem from an idea, and he kind of like almost purposely like makes up his content based on like a thought or whatever it is, right? Do you do the same thing with your projects? Do you kind of sit down and think about like, okay, I want to get like this message across?
Yeah.
Does that part of the process, or is it more freelance for you?
I mean, more or less, I think a lot of what I do is like social commentary. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think half the city that or half the people that follow me like wouldn't expect to see me like in a normal conversation or expect, this guy out of me.
That's kind of weird for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just because like I put out ridiculous stuff online. Like I just put like the most ridiculous stuff that I find funny or like that I
Yeah,
came up, and when I was just
yeah.
randomly like walking around and I just filled up my notepad in my phone.
That's good.
But stuff that makes me laugh, I put that out. But it's just like, um, I don't know. It's interesting to see people's perspective of you because like, oh wow, like I didn't like know you like actually spoke English, something like that. But not necessarily, but it's just like making songs about cakes and
Yo,
stuff like that
yo.
on the
So
so I
so
just like
everything that you put so everything that you put together as far as like content, it's always just like kind of just like random thoughts. Like you don't actually like sit there and think like, okay, um, I got this idea,
hmm
and I want to articulate, I want to like replicate it and put it down on paper, and then push that. You don't. That's not how you put things together, or is it just kind of like
I
whatever
think
you think is funny? Like,
I think short term, like on like just like on my like the little stuff I do, like whether it's just a quick song
mm-hmm,
or just skits. I think it's kind of tough whenever you're trying to put out like a ton of content. I think you're trying to make it funny and you're trying to make sure the quality's there.
mm-hmm,
But I think when it comes to like when I'm actually going to sit down and like finish like working on the indie movie script that I'm working on, that
mm-hmm.
comes more from a place where I'm trying to convey a message and trying to do it in a comedic manner.
Yeah.
But we're full circle with a message for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think smaller stuff where I'm just looking for quick laughs and engagement,
Yeah.
that's more just something I think that's funny
Random.
and random. And, people don't have very long attention spans anymore. So it's just like, I mean, I have to
Literally
make
like the
jokes.
attention span of 10 seconds.
Oh, I'm the same way. I won't even listen to your song if the beat's whack in the first 2 seconds. So I'm not
I'm out
joking.
of there. I'm out of there. Like just as quick as I hit play, I'll hit pause and get out of there.
That's why it takes me
That's
like
hilarious.
out to find one beat that I like because I'm like, shit. You better like this beat, even if my
Oh
bars
me.
are like,
Oh me. That's facts, bro. That's some big facts.
yeah,
So that makes sense, bro. That makes sense. So you definitely answered my question in the sense of like when you're putting together something strategically that's on like a different level of maybe more content or
yeah,
more meaning, you're gonna come into that with a neutral idea and execute that idea. But when it's just like kind of quick content, fast pace, then it's just
yeah.
like ideas off the top. That's dope. I love it.
Like
I'm
today,
just trying to.
I finished a song where I'm making fun of like grime British rap, and so I made that song. We're about to film the music video after this. But I was like trying to like look for like kind of like a central idea to rap around, but
Yeah.
you know, I pretty much just hit on the fact that I guess U.S. like hood niggas, they don't really like fuck with like British people that are like trying to act hood, and
Oh
so
my
and so
gosh.
I'm making fun of that because like it's like I guess in our like TV and film history, like gangsters and like hood stuff has always been in America. So it's like kind of funny watching British people act hood, and so that's kind of what I'm hitting on in this is like,
Bro,
uh,
what do you look at? Do you look at something, or something comes up like on your Instagram where you're like, yo, like I just got it. Like, how does that idea come about? Like, it's
I
kind
was
of
like
random.
I was talking to some girl and she was like playing like all this British rap, and I was like, and I was
Like drill music, like drill music, like UK rap.
like Skepta, he's like, oh, came in the beach in the book. And like I'm like, bro, I can't.
Hey, bro, no, Skepta's kind of hard though. Like the Skeptas, the Daves. I don't know if you listen to Dave. Dave is dope.
I'll listen to him, but I think it's there's some humor in there, and I was
Bro,
like,
and it's just, bro, I just actually got through sitting down with somebody, and they were a UK rapper, and I was just like, that was one of the things where they call them badmans. So the badmans, like those are the dudes who are like street. They're from the South Side, like they came from the gutter, like they, you know what I mean? Like that's what a badman is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, like how hood is it really out there? And then
yeah.
I got friends of friends that are from London.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, and it's like they talk about it being that way, but it's like, is it really that way though? That's so funny. Yeah. Like that's small like context of like how we got into this.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is like, and it is, but the funny thing is we don't know as Americans because that's not like our culture goes to them, but like their culture really doesn't come here. So it's kind of like we're just imagining is, and so it's just like one of the lines is, "Your mom got a big bum." Did I say that? Yeah, I said that. Gotta put in baked beans on my toast. Made a nigga toast. Wait, can I say the word nigga? I don't know. It makes me feel bigger. It's like what? No, that's me.
Oh my god! I was about to say that ain't no way that's Skepta.
I was like laughing. I'm like, how many of y'all your family went through slavery? Like y'all stay in the N-word, not just like stuff like that.
But it's crazy though. A lot of UK. There's a lot of Nigerian race that's it's booming there.
It is, yeah. No,
so,
that's true.
So like, and them Nigerians, bro, they lived a rough life. But I don't know about everybody else. I got some of my close friends that I call my brother are Nigerian.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah. So like I know some things or two about, but Nigeria itself, like compared to UK, it's night and day.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny. Well, man, I guess I got an idea, man, of what you've been up to, and I guess kind of what's next for you. I guess I want to take this time real quick to maybe just throw some little Q&As out there to you.
Sure.
Some serious, some kind of to throw you off a little bit, Yeah. But I'm going off the top. So,
okay.
who as a childhood comedians, who did you watch growing up? Like during the time where you're doing your little MTV skits and stuff like that. Like who were some of your childhood comics that you kind of paid attention to?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, it was just, I remember my mom showing me like Richard Pryor when she probably shouldn't have been showing me that. But
Richard Pryor, he's an animal.
Yeah, I remember going to Blockbuster and getting the VHS,
Blockbuster is not even a thing no more.
I know, yeah. And then I had like the Kings of Comedy VHSs and stuff like that. Katt Williams always had me rolling growing up as well.
Yep.
And then like early Kevin Hart, like I really liked. It's kind of something you'd never really seen, I guess, around that time. In my age, I was like, that first one was too funny with the no nipples and all that kind of stuff.
Katt Williams, like really, I think Katt Williams paved the way for Kevin Hart.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for real.
Because I think Katt Williams is right in the brink of like the Chris Tuckers and the Jamie Foxxes and like the Cedric Entertainers and D.L. Hughley's, and he was right there at the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, he made some poor decisions, so like he's where he's at now. But the dude is still a legend to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I love Katt Williams. That's
okay. So as a comedian, let me think. What's your favorite box of cereal?
I don't eat cereal.
if you would, you don't eat. But as a kid, though.
Captain Crunch probably.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, as a kid, did you collect the little toys in the box? Before you open up the box, did you dig before you even poured your cereal? Did you dig for the little prize?
I remember that. I would dig in there, and then I have all like the fucking like cereal dandruff on my arm. I'm pouring milk on my arm and licking it. You know, it's pretty.
Sugar crust on your elbow, like.
Yeah.
uh, okay, what's your favorite special? Like HBO special, Netflix special, Showtime, etc.
Like a stand-up special?
Yeah. What's three that you can watch at any given time? Maybe okay, three might be too much. What's two that you can
I was
watch
about
at
to
any
say.
time?
I think Anthony Jeselnik's special, his first one on Netflix, is pretty fire. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Hey bro, let me ask you this. What you think about what's his name? I think it's Josh Johnson. He got the afro. He's got the afro.
Okay, I've seen the thumbnail.
He does a lot of Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is hilarious, bro. Like it's his comic is his content is real, like not racial,
Yeah.
but like, oh man, I think it's Josh Johnson. Like I'm gonna look it up. I got you. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, cool.
Dude is hilarious. But he's coming up, but like that's kind of off subject. But like he's somebody to watch for sure.
Okay.
But I think it's Josh Johnson, something Johnson. But I'm gonna send you the link to some of his material. He's kind of funny. He's real kind of like free, and he doesn't really like think about shit too much, and he just kind of like tells his story, and he's fire. And his punchlines are like come unexpectedly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a link to that. So who's number two?
I saw Eric Andre actually. That's not a special, but I saw him live recently, and that was probably the craziest show I've ever like been to in person.
So what is it about stand up to you, or what is it about like the performance side, the content side, that I guess makes you laugh the most? That's the most comedic. Like what is it about a stand up where you're like, damn, like that was a good stand up?
I think storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling, just having like proper like drawbacks throughout their set. I really like that. Yeah. But just really the unexpected.
Yeah.
Like just hitting us stuff that's like super unexpected, or the person's character is just completely opposite of what we would expect from them or anybody. But listen to somebody who has a different way of thinking. I think that's the most important for me. I'm not necessarily into like a lot of relatable comedy, because I think a lot of comedians do that and with their specials.
And it's easy too, right?
Yeah.
You do that, so you're not like standing out.
Exactly.
Right. How do you feel about trending topics? Everybody wants to talk about Donald Trump. Everybody, like right now, everybody wants to talk about the coronavirus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about like trending topics?
I mean, I feel like they get played out too quick. So I've never like used that as a technique to get crowd engagement or anything like that. I really don't like that, and I'm already tired of everybody talking about coronavirus everywhere I go. So it's like,
no way.
And that's stressful. So yeah, I try to stay away from those topics pretty much, and just I stick more with like shock humor and race humor and stuff like that. And that's what I kind of enjoy doing. But it's tough being in Austin where there's 8 black people. It's tough to make
8. Come on, bro, don't play us like that, bro.
I could name us all off here.
Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. It's not like that. You gonna keep me far away from there, bro. Sound like North Carolina right now. No, I take that back. North Carolina has a lot of black people, but they get treated differently.
Yeah. No, white people are nice to black people here. There's just
they have no choice. Because it's
I don't get matches on Bumble or Tinder, but whatever, it's cool.
Hey, but the ones you do get, the ones that you get, it comes with a true meaning. Like it's a true match.
I go to her Instagram and see all other 8 black friends following her.
Yo,
I'm like, no, can't do it.
All right. What was I gonna say? So if you weren't doing what you're doing now, like if you weren't living the life as a comedian right now, what else can you see yourself doing?
Mm.
What would you be doing?
I'd probably be stripping. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo, I'm about to run out my house. Come on, bro.
I
Stop
don't
playing
know.
with you, bro. You funny, bro.
I don't know. That's tough.
Probably would. You probably would. That's your answer, huh?
Maybe. I don't know. I have to get
Your
in
answer.
shape first. Do some
But you
sit-ups.
thought so you thought about that at one point, is what you're saying.
My dad was a stripper, I think.
Whoa. Was
Yeah, I think he was. Shit, I don't know. He's somewhere in Nebraska or something.
he? Probably on a pole.
On the pole still. He's the fat old guy they're trying to get to retire.
Funny. Okay. Let me think. What's next for you, bro?
I think just making that move and just building more connections, just continuing to stay consistent and just keep on entertaining all the different avenues that entertain me. That way, just one, I'll stay motivated, but two, just giving me more opportunities to, I guess, more like break into the industry and meet with other people that are going to allow me to help me grow, as well as help anybody else grow as well with the desire. So I think right now it's just geography, getting over there, making proper connections, drinking some tequila, also dancing, and then
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, bro, it'll go a long way. You got to be versatile in this industry, bro.
I get shit.
You got to be versatile.
I can tap dance like the '60s, so
Like 60. That's hilarious. Hey, bro, I love it, bro. I love it, man. Hey, bro, so real quick, man, where can the people find you, bro? Where can they locate you? Where can they keep up with the content?
So I
Social
got
media?
thing. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Grinder. No, I'm kidding. But yeah,
Wait, what is that? Hold on, that's something new.
I'm just I'm joking. I'm joking. No, you can find me at Moonlair 360. So it's Moonlair 360 on every platform, pretty much.
Nice. That's easy enough, bro. I love it, man.
Sweet.
Thank you for coming through, man. Telling your story, linking up with me.
For sure.
It's been comedic, to say the least. I wish the best for you, man. It sounds like you got a lot going on right now. It seems like you're staying true to you, right?
Yeah.
I respect the fact that you got a lot of things going on. I also respect the fact that you're versatile in this space, which I think is going to be extremely important for you. And like I mentioned before, it's going to have that leverage, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm ready to sit down with you again, man. Tell your story once you make moves, right? And we'll keep it that way, bro. Appreciate you.
For sure, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, bro.
All right, man. You too.
You're a bad bitch. You're funny. You're smart. Perfect body. Perfect toes. But when you walk outside, plants die, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to figure something out. Now that we made the spray and put it on your coochie, the birds are chirping and flowers blooming. I'ma beat it up like Metro Boomin. We connected our hearts, they got diffusing. Was playing search and destroy, but you diffused it. Doctor said if I don't use it, I lose it. So I'ma use it on you. Damn, baby girl, yeah, what you trying to do? I love you like so damn much. Every time we fuck, we both get concussed. Let them know that this is love, love, not lust. All because your coochie lost all its must. That shit's crazy, man. Like, wow. I just feel so happy now, you know what I'm saying? So, I hope you're happy too.